Hi, this is Michael Henson. If you've been following my blog, you know that I've been working on the core gameplay features of Team Laser Combat to use them as my master's degree capstone at DePaul University. This video is the final deliverable in that project, as well as an opportunity to show you all what's been going on lately. So I'm going to rush through the setup here because many of you have already seen it and because it's outside the scope of my capstone, which focuses only on the core game mechanics. I was developing single player and multiplayer concurrently, but that was slowing me down, so single player is the focus for now. So I choose single player, enter my name, accept the defaults on the game setup, and then I create my team. I'll stick with my favorite color blue, name my team after DePaul. Then I get to choose a team captain, so I'll take this one. Okay, so now we're in the lobby, so I'm going to click the upgrade team button and just add some units to my team just to make it easier to demonstrate as much as possible. So when we're done, we go back to the lobby and then signal to the server that we're ready to play. To make this demo a little easier to follow, I'll try to demonstrate the requirements of each milestone separately. Milestone 1 consists of 6 requirements that center around the activities involved in beginning a combat interaction, including validation, various pieces of the user interface, and specific tasks for the artificial intelligence in our computer-controlled opponents. All 6 requirements in Milestone 1 are verified and validated. At the moment, there aren't any known issues with this functionality. First off, I want to apologize for all of the extra text that's on screen. That's debug information that will not be in the final version. Okay, so what just happened is our opponents, the purple team, just moved, as you can see in the event log up here. And now it's my turn. The pre-validation of the actions menu was one of the requirements of milestone 1, and you can see that that's working because this button up here should be attack, but it's not giving it to me because obviously I'm either not in position to attack or perhaps I don't have a resource to attack with. And the button over on the left side should be a heal button, but of course the game just started. My characters are not injured, so they do not have the heal button. In the final version there will probably be disabled buttons to show you what should be there, but for now, just to get the functionality tested, I just take the buttons away. So what I'm going to do for Captain Bob is I'm just going to draw a couple tokens for this guy. Just to make sure he's got a good inventory just in case he gets attacked. I also need to prove that I can attack. Trooper Mandy. Trooper Mandy has an attack button enabled, so that means that she's actually able to attack. We can verify this by looking at the trooper's inventory. They have offensive tokens, so they have 2 different things they can attack with. A power token, which is a requirement in milestone 2, and she's got a regular token with a attack value of 6 and a defense value of 2. This is the strongest possible attack for a regular combat token, so she's in pretty good shape to attack. So I'm going to go ahead and click her attack button. What it does is it shows me the valid directions I can attack in. Well, in this case, she's got a straight shot at a container, which I have represented temporarily by these red spheres. So the only thing she can attack is this container. So if I click this, then it's going to ask me, what resource would I like to attack with? Well, the only one that's really practical right now is the combat token. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that. And what happened was, where was a container? The container is gone. This is actually a milestone 3 requirement. So that takes care of everything in milestone 1 with the exception of the auto attack option. If I turn this on, then when I choose to attack somebody, instead of asking me to select a token, it will apply some logic and figure out what token it considers to be the best, and it'll use that. So that's part of milestone 1. Auto defense works the same way, except that it's in milestone 2, and it does the same thing for defense. So instead of making you choose a defense, it picks the best defense you have. I didn't show in the last demo that I just did that the AI actually works. So I just ran the game again, and as soon as the game loaded, the AI moved into position and attacked me. So what you're seeing right here is the defend interface. So you can see it looks an awful lot like the attack interface and like the token inventory screen, except that it takes away the controls and focuses only on the captain that the character that we're defending. So right now I can defend with a power token or I can defend with a combat token. I'm just going to pick the combat token because this power token happens to be defective. I'll get to that later. Alright, so I click that, and then it gives me a combat summary. So this is actually all Milestone 2 stuff that we're seeing right here. Um, so what I just demonstrated here was that the AI does work. It is able to attack. In the last demo I did, they attacked a container. I didn't bother to point that out. And in this one, they attacked one of my characters. So that shows that they've got the same ability to attack that the human players do, and that it does actually function. While we're on the subject, let's jump ahead a little bit to Milestone 2. The defend interface that I just used to defend myself was a Milestone 2 requirement, as is this combat summary screen. So we'll get to Milestone 2 in just a moment. Milestone 2 is comprised of 17 requirements that handle all the central details of the combat system, including things we've already seen like the defend interface, the combat summary screen, the event log. I explained how the auto defense feature works. But it also covers the AI's defensive behaviors and the combat evaluator, which processes all 10 token types and resolves the outcomes. All 17 requirements in Milestone 2 have been verified, but only 14 have correctly validated. The Vampire, Resolve, and Lucky Break power tokens are defective. Correcting them would require refactoring of the combat evaluator, which I knew I didn't have time to do by the deadline, so I just dropped it, but everything else seems to work great. Okay, so I'm going to try to demonstrate a few more features of Milestone 2. Milestone 2 begins by talking about if a player is attacked, then they should get a defend user interface so they can select a token. We've already seen that. It says that the server is going to resolve combat interactions by evaluating the stats and updating their data. We've already seen that. But the only thing we haven't seen is the behavior of some of the power tokens that actually work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by just drawing a bunch of tokens, and I'm going to see if I can get some power tokens in my inventory so that when I get into a combat interaction, I'll be able to demonstrate that those things are actually working. Okay, here we go. One of my characters got attacked, so he has a power token here. The power tokens are denoted by the gold instead of the silver border. The one that I have, the only power token I have that's defensive is the Shatter and Scatter token. The whole idea here is that if the attack is blocked, then each member of the attacker's team takes damage. So I'm going to pick that and hope it works. It's got a defense value of 4, so it's slightly above average. Alright, it was not blocked. So I took full damage on that. So let's continue. Let's just draw more tokens. Have all the troopers draw tokens. All right. Let's see what they got. Okay, pretty good, pretty good. All right, they've got both offensive and defensive tokens, so that's good. Then on their next turn, I'm going to see if I can send them into battle. I can point out here, there's a Milestone 3 requirement right there. It says yellow Captain Colleen found a hazard. That was there's a random spot on the board that actually hurts the characters, and that was a Milestone 3 requirement, so we can see that working. Alright. Sarah has a straight line of sight to that yellow player, so we're going to try to attack Isaac. And we're going to attack Isaac with... Oh. You know, this is not good either, because these two don't work, and this one only works after your character has taken damage. So let's just do a regular attack and see what happens. Let's attack with this one. Attack value of 4. Ah, Isaac had no defense. He took the full damage. This was a Milestone 2 requirement that Isaac's data, as you can see down here in the lower left, was updated. So, success, that works. Milestone 3 consisted of 19 requirements that were all about the game world environment, but they were very simple and really just boiled down to 2 things: destructible containers and surprise bonus spaces on the board. The requirements specified the presence of these things as well as being able to pick them up and have the character data updated appropriately. And we already saw a hazard space work in a previous example, so in this case, we see these containers. I don't have graphics for the items, so I just reuse the character graphics for the item. So this isn't actually a character standing here, it's an item from the container I just destroyed. Um, so Picking up these items was also part of the requirement, so I'm going to try to move over there and see if I can reach that item. Okay, I can. I'm gonna walk into this space. It says that I picked up a coin, so that adds one to my team's budget. All right, I'm going to try destroying another container now. Let's go for this one. And then I'm going to try to move into that position. Oh, it didn't work. Okay, I may have just discovered a new bug. All right, let's try that again. All right, that time it worked. All right, I found a snack. If I had taken damage, that would have replenished my health. I hadn't taken damage in this case, but I have tested this before, and that does actually work. So I'm going to do the same thing again. Oh, yellow team just destroyed a container as well. So I just picked up armor, so that should have updated my armor value there. And let's pick up this other guy. Oh, another snack. So yeah, again, I hadn't taken any damage, so no effect. The other part of milestone 3 are the invisible bonus and hazard spaces on the board. So I'm just going to start walking around, seeing if I can just trace straight lines across the board. If I enter a space that contains a bonus or a hazard, it will tell me so and it'll update my data. So I'm just going to keep walking in a straight line, row by row, and see if I can make that happen. All right, there it was. I stopped recording for a moment just so I could walk around and see if I could find this, but it worked. It said Captain Chris found a token, and that was a random invisible space. And the token I found was a pretty good one. It was actually a basic combat token with a full attack and defense strength 6 and 6, so that's really good. So I didn't quite demo every little detail, but I had a pretty good sampling of the new functionality, and I noticed a few undiscovered bugs in the process. This is my first time tackling this sort of game, and the multi-threaded client-server nature of this thing has been incredibly challenging, but the experience has been priceless, and my future projects will be so much better because of it. In a way, I wish I'd waited to start engineering this, because if I'd taken Professor Keenan's classes first, I would have done a lot of things differently. But now I know, and learning these sorts of things is the whole reason why I went to grad school. So thank you everybody for watching, and thanks to Professor Keenan and all of DePaul University for teaching me so many amazing and powerful things that have enhanced my life and my work in more ways than I can begin to describe. Thank you.